and how to put it together in like a sentence.
My main objective is to have a fundamental understanding of how the language works, such that if you were to read any phrase in our standard Coptic liturgical texts, you would understand it fully if you knew the vocabulary. Or if you didn't know a particular word because your vocabulary is still building, at least you know roughly what the sentence says, you recognize where you are, etc. That's it. So it's a matter of building vocabulary week by week, month by month, year by year, God willing. And if you don't understand, oh, this is what, I recognize this tense and this verb, this is what it means. So once you see what we're talking about with past tense today, you'll immediately recognize how common this particular use of this tense is. It's throughout all our texts. But we're going to start with something a little bit that builds towards it first. Start. Oh, there we go. And that is personal pronouns. Damir al-shakhsi. That's why I was mentioning that. There are two kinds of personal pronouns that you'll see in Coptic. How to say I, we, you, they. Okay? We can say it either independently, which is what these words are. This is lesson 7. Okay? Or as part of a verbal construction. As part of a verb, which we will see in a few minutes. These here are straightforward and they are to be memorized. Okay? And you see them throughout our liturgy and throughout our text. Enoch. I. And you will see this, it's used in a sentence. And you don't need a verb to use these.
But is it there is another word for animal, مش بس I? Meaning? Another meaning?
Enoch is just I.
مش بس I مش قصدك pronoun.
But there's another way to say I. We'll see that in a minute. Enthok, you. Oftentimes in liturgical texts, of course, in reference to Christ or to God the Father. Enthok, in reference to anybody who's female. So we see this often in this hymn, for instance, that we actually chant during Lent. Enthok, you, addressing a female. Te, which we learned a couple weeks ago, or something that's feminine. Tishori, you are the censor, obviously addressing the Virgin Mary. So this is how it's used in a sentence. Very simple. Guys, if you're going to be in this room, you need to be quiet. Elthof, he. Eltos, she. So, the way we categorize this is first person, I. Second person, you. Third person, he or she. Or they. This one over here, entho'u, is they. Enthotin, you. You to who, plural. And it doesn't matter whether it's just a female audience, a male audience, or a mixed. Either way, it's enthotin. And then enon is we. Also doesn't matter it's male or female or what the gender is. So I'll give you a few examples of how these personal pronouns are used. Where I went over this one, enfo, te, tishori. If you notice, there's no verb in this one. There's no verb in this sentence, and there's no verb in this sentence either. Okay? Ero. This is not a verb per se. It's in English, the technical term for it is a copula. Basically, it's a way to construct a status without the use of a verb. We'll see how we can change this or do something similar to where we're actually using the verbs.
And it doesn't have any meaning.
Means is. It basically means is.
But it's
or
not a verb.
But it's not a verb. So here, you are the censor. You are the shoria. You are the censor. Here, Enoch is which one? I. Remember what oik means? Bread. And te means of.
You are the bread of life.
Of life. Onch. Ench. This is where ench comes from.
The
So this is an example of how these personal pronouns are used in very simple sentences. Or in this case, anon is what?
We.
We. Kha is a word that we're going to learn pretty soon here. Basically, it's a preposition that means under something, or are something, or of the status of something. Pek laos. So what is pek? What's pek? Your. Exactly. If Marlene was here, she has it memorized. Laos. People. We are your people. Okay. This is from the Midnight Office. Sorry? So kha is, we're going to get to those actually next week. Kha is, technically it's a preposition, but in which means you use it to state location. Kha usually means you're under something, but it can also mean simply is or are in some cases. So, we are your people. Am I going too fast? Because I want to get to the verbs, which we're going to do immediately right now. We're good? Yes? Questions? Nadine, you're good?
So is pay the same as tay?
Yeah, so,
Same thing?
yes, so there is pay, te, and ne. Pay is masculine, te is feminine, ne is plural. And they usually agree with the term that's being described. Okay? So in this case, te, because it's feminine here, and here you're addressing something feminine. Here, it's because the person who's being described, or how the person is being described, is masculine. The bread of life. Notice how this is masculine, and this is masculine. So here, you can't really tell. It could have been a woman saying, I am the bread of life.
Right.
Because Anok is used both for masculine and feminine. But it's because of the P over here that we're using pe. Okay?
So Mark, the second, the info 10, and the other one info.
It's the O.
What are these?
Okay, so I, you feminine, he, she.
Right.
We,
Uh-huh.
you, plural,
You plural.
they. We're good?
But how did they mark seconds? Or it has to go
No, I'm
with-
sorry. It's with the third.
Yeah.
I had to move it up because I wanted to put some stuff down here. So this is first, again, second person, third person. It's just so that when I ask you, for instance, personal pronoun, third person, singular, masculine. Exactly. But I'm not going to ask you that way because it's too complex. I can just say, how do you say he in the personal pronoun? But when you're being drilled in a grammar course, third person singular masculine pronoun, what is it? You know, something like that. I'm not going to.
They're pretty much similar except for the end.
Yeah, and you're going to see things. Actually, I'll do this now. You're going to see things where notice how for the third person masculine, you see this F.
Mhm.
And you see this S over here. And you see this N over here. You see this F. This would be a bad example. This K over here. Those are similar throughout any time you want to express he or you. You want to express you or he or she or us. You can see those letters again in it. And you'll see what I mean by that in a minute here when we'll start covering those. Okay.
Actually, Mark, I feel, I don't think I'm right, they are parallel to the possessive.
Exactly.
And even the fake thing.
Exactly. So for instance,
Parallel to the pattern.
yeah, exactly. So for instance, we want to say his something, pef, adding F, adding F.
Yeah, exactly.
Or pes, her something, adding S, adding S.
Wow, peck and folk.
There's a consistency that we'll see right now again with the verbs. Okay. So let's get to verbs. Finally, after how many months? 3 months? Verbs.
Thank you.
Okay. Verbs in Coptic do very similar things that they do in other languages. They express past tense, or the past, the present, and the future. ماضي, حاضر, المستقبل.
The future.
This is lesson 8 now. We're going to be in lesson 8.
يبقى كده 7
I skipped part of lesson 7. We'll cover it next week because I wanted to get to verbs. It's a simple part. I wanted to spend time on verbs. So what do verbs do? They express tense. مستقبل, الماضي, الحاضر. And they can express mood. So for instance, mood as in المصدر, the infinitive. أو الأمر, imperative. And نداء, vocative. Okay? Verbs do, we have all these types of things that verbs do in Coptic. And they also express voice, whether something is being done actively or in passive. Alright, let me give you an example.
Mushi من هنا right now. Right now. أنا بتقوليش.
متأكدين ده لسه ايه كده؟ لسه بيبتدي ويخلص في ساعتها كده.
That is more.
Did you take the interrogative pronouns? Who, what?
Okay,
We're
we're starting lesson 8.
We'll do it next time.
So let's do a simple exercise here. This is different tenses and different ways of expressing how a verb is.
ده ايه ده شال ايه؟ هاي شال جو؟ ده ايه ده انجلش؟ بجد بس انا ما عدتش دلوقتي قادره يعني لازم تقول لي احنا هندي انجلش.
There you go. This looks like number 4.
I have gone, to go, he went.
انا صحيت.
If you notice in English, the verb changes form depending on the tense. He went, past tense. I have gone, what's called the pluperfect. Okay? Or I go, the present. I shall go, the future. They remain the same. In Coptic, regardless of the tense, the verb stays in the same form. What changes is a couple of other things. So you notice how this changes? You just have to memorize what the verb looks like, and then you can change what tense you're in, whether you're in the future or in the past, from something else. What is it? In verbs, most of the tenses come in 3 parts. This is called the marker. This is called the pronoun, who is doing the thing, and then the verb itself. Okay? So, for instance, here's alpha, K, and I'm going to say, which verb do you guys want to use from your verb list? Motion? Motion? Motion. Okay. If I wanted to say that he walked, so, okay, for the past tense, the way you indicate that it's a past tense is by simply adding this alpha. That's all you to
So
indicate
what's the
past
marker?
tense.
The marker
It's
is
the
the
alpha.
tense?
It's the alpha right here. That's it.
So
Basically,
Is this an indication of the tense?
yes. Let me start over again. In most verb tenses, when you want to express how somebody does something, it comes in 3 parts. It's all part of the same word. You have the marker, you have the indication of who is doing the action, then the verb itself, and they're all 3 parts combined together. I'm just spacing it out.
So is past tense, but for instance, future is...
Future is a little bit different, but for instance, you wanted to say somebody habitually does something, it'll be a different tense. Somebody shall do something, it's also a different tense. I'll give you examples of that.
But it all goes in the marker.
Those all go in this column, over here.
So it means that for the future you have another marker.
Yes, yes. For most tenses, there's some exceptions, which I won't get to today, but this is roughly how it works. 3 columns. So alpha is the marker for what? For past tense, which is what you see in lesson 8. Now what we have to learn is what are called the pronouns, indicating who is doing the action. The football is not inside the room, it's not indoors. You're gonna hold it, you can't throw it.
It popped.
Sorry?
It popped.
You popped the football? Okay, no problem.
There's a hole.
Yes. Past tense.
نعمل ايه طب احنا في ايه دلوقتي ولا في ايه؟
موشي.
Okay.
موشي برجع.
So, I wanted to say you. The verb we're using is moshi, which means to walk. We could have used the verb sultan, which means to listen or to hear. Okay? But it doesn't matter, whichever verb.
لا طبعا مفيش تيب هيلزق دي.
Okay? I want to say you, masculine, walked. You would put in the pronoun okay, the cap. This is what line in lesson 8? The second line of the table.
Came in you.
Right here. You see that? Second person masculine. Ak moshi.
You walk.
You walked. Yes. If I were to say he walked. Af moshi. If I wanted to say she walked. As moshi. What if I were to say I walked?
I moshi.
I moshi. What if I wanted to say you, as in
Arimu.
actually interview?
Arimu.
There's no men in this course apparently. Nobody wants to come.
But there's busy selling cookies.
So what is the pronoun for female? Second person. Are, right? Are. This one is a little bit different, so that's the one you're gonna have to, one of the ones that are, you have to sort of remember them. Okay, what if I say we walked?
On moshi.
On moshi. What if I want to say you plural walked?
قريت then moshi.
That-
انا بقرا من هنا مش حافظه حاجه.
How do
Yeah, that one's
did we
confusing.
unmotion that we walked and the negative, like did not walk, right?
Because okay, so there's on. If there's on is with the word, and in front of it is different than on
Can you check
being by
your
itself
streaming, your voice
at the
file?
end of a sentence.
Okay.
The location of the two.
Your voice will be.
But there's no on. Where's on?
First line.
Oh, okay. We. Okay. So
There
it's
was kind of
on
fear.
moshi on. It's we.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I had no.
You really picked on me today.
I'm sorry. You're okay.
Yeah.
So ممكن عندك هنا you said before like inso for he وinsos for she. يعني are you picking the left?
So I'll show you how this matters in a minute here. Okay.
يعني
So.
I'm comparing lesson 7 to lesson 8.
So lesson 7, these are independent personal pronouns that you can use them outside of this construction. But I'll show you how you can use them with this construction as well.
Don't erase it, please. Leave it.
So
No, I'm not gonna erase it.
just coming back to that. So if you want to say we didn't walk, we say on moshi on.
No. The negative past tense it uses a different marker altogether. The way you use on in sentences that are non-verbal. We went over that. You might have missed it.
هو you to feminine تبقى ايه؟
You walked?
Yeah, to a feminine.
قريتين. It's on the second line.
No, feminine. واحدة. Single feminine. يعني
Ari motion.
يعني دي for you're talking to a singular
Masculine.
masculine.
Singular
feminine
feminine.
masculine.
Ari.
هما ليه سو بيكي لما بتكون بتكلم حد انت مالك هو واحد ولا واحده؟ ما انا
طب ما احنا
ما
بالعربي
اللايف
انتي وانت.
معلش بقى يعني ما
It's actually unusual that in
بتمشي
English
وخلاص
we
يعني
don't
لازم اقول لك
differentiate. In English we don't differentiate.
يس يس
بس في العربي we do.
معلش ما ليه بقى بنركز على العربي دلوقتي؟
إكراما لك.
اكراما لك ماشي.
وأص اللي هي
She. Third person feminine.
we اللي هي on.
On.
you بقى you plural اللي هي orientate.
Oriented.
ايش معنى دي الديفرنس؟
Yeah, we see that. So
كتير قوي.
طب ولا بقى they دي اللي هي ايه؟
اللي هو
موشي
of
انت شايفه يعني
lesson 8.
بس هو حاجة مكتوبة طبعا
بس
موضوع.
ما هو عشان confusing وعايزة
The last one اللي هو third person plural اللي هو of
من غير الورق ده كله مريض
of motion.
يعني the kids of Moshi out of here right now.
That is precisely correct. Okay. Can I flip the board?
just
Can I?
a
لا
just a
No.
bit
احنا ممكن نفضل نراجع في دي على فكره ما ناخدش اي حاجه تانية
I think we need break
I'm only gonna do this up here.
ممكن
ليه الفيرب كمان
لا
after couple of lesson and review then we go
But we did that already 2 weeks ago.
What did we do?
مش عملت كده ولا لا؟
again winter break to
اكيد ما كناش موجودين
last week كمان
احنا بننسى
Was it
ذكريات
last week?
السمك كده
Yes.
I did
احنا
it.
موجودين هي دي
Honestly, we
الفضايح
need that more often because let's be honest, I don't think any of us studies at home.
You don't study. I'm so disappointed there. I don't study. You spend 3 hours a night studying at home.
So it would be nice if we review everything.
Okay, so we learned. Fine. We'll,
can I ask
I'll
you
definitely go over
a
this next week. Yes.
احنا دلوقتي في past tense
Yeah.
والpresent day يعني if I'm saying
شكله مش مهم شكله مش ماضي
يعني
بس
احنا دخلنا الماضي على طول without present
Why? Because it's the easiest one to recognize. No. Why? It's because most. Okay, I'll explain it. It's not necessarily the easiest, but the reason. Okay, it's the easiest example of all the verbal tenses where there are 3 parts to it. Okay. Why is it easiest? Because the marker for the past tense is 1 letter. The marker, the prefix, for the other tenses is usually 2 or 3 letters.
لا احنا خلينا في الباست على طول احنا مش انترستد في باقي الاسئله
In present tense is actually quite easy, and we'll go over that probably next week. It's basically use these same pronouns, no prefix plus the verb. So, for instance,
So
this is how you say he is walking.
Moshi.
Moshi is Moshi
She is walking.
no marker
No marker.
طب ما ده اسهل
and
اهو
pronoun is repeated in every
Yeah.
the same right
Yeah. This is easier, of course,
Right.
but it's different than most of the verbal tenses because most of the verbal tenses have a prefix, have a marker. So usually we teach the past tense first because it's the one that's most often used, in fact, when you read something. When you read the gospel, is it in the past tense or is it in the present mostly?
yeah
Most of the stuff is in the past. He did this, he said this, he did this, he replied to this, he walked in the water, he broke bread. Everything's in the past. So that's why you usually learn the past tense first. Okay? And now let me help you out a little bit and tell you how else these verbs can be used. I'm gonna raise the top only a minute. Is that okay?
No, I'm fine you can raise it
Okay. So we learned that there is the marker plus the pronoun plus the verb. What if I wanted to say the woman walked?
من غير شيء مالها شيء
do we add برضه pronoun
لا
You can say, I'll tell you the pronoun in a minute. Instead of the pronoun, you can just say he is he, me, mosh.
طب ما نقول اسمها وخلاص
Okay.
هي مين
ايه مرة ايه مرة
بس سهله جدا
نبيل موشي يلا يا اتفضلي
مع السلامه يا جماعه
Wow.
that's nice
But
It's
the
easy.
tense, the conjugation comes before even the subject. That's kind of crazy.
So,
بس بس less of بعض يعني
Yes.
أعطي is he me كلمة
Well,
واحدة.
yeah,
and
it's
then
all.
she.
I divided it up so you can see it, but even in the literature books, you'll always see this whole word together.
Whoa.
You're supposed to.
Whoa.
You're supposed to.
That makes
Moshi
it
will
more
be by
confusing.
itself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see in books that
Moshi will be.
sometimes in books they'll have the word by itself, the verb,
Yeah.
so that people can more easily read it. But technically, it's one unit.
لا
So even if it was someone's
No.
proper name,
Yeah. مفروض كده. That's grammatically it's one unit, but in a modern text you will see the word separated.
but even if it was a proper name, it would still be
Yes.
like, wow.
Absolutely.
That's really confusing.
And also it's confusing because the marker is not connected to the verb, it's connected to the pronoun.
Yes.
The order
Yes.
itself.
Now, so you see that you can replace the pronoun with a proper name or a noun. Any noun. Any noun. Does the verb change? No. At least not in any of these examples.
Yeah,
Does
you
the
have to
marker
do it
change?
like-
No. Now what you can do in addition to all of this is for emphasis you can say enthos. What's enthos? Do you remember enthos was from lesson 7?
Yes.
She. She, Niveen, walked.
Insus will come before the marker.
It's always going to be before. As the kelma khalas.
Enthos an Nevin Moshi?
Yeah. As for her, she, Niveen walked.
Okay, what about will be
Yoda.
Insus out is he me moshi ولا مش هيبقى فيه this
It could be Mondo. Of course it can be. Yeah.
Yeah. Star Wars.
بص احنا نفكر كلمة
Enso.
انس نقلبها.
Oh,
So I'll give you another example.
I didn't watch it.
I'll give you another example.
انا مش فاهمه بتاعت انسوس في الاول دي يعني
So
عايزين
we still use
Yeah, you can use.
لا ده على فكره ده كتير قوي كل ده في جمله واحده شي والاسم يا جماعه ثقوا فيا شويه انا مشيت خلاص يعني مش
Yeah. Yeah. I'll-
Anok. As for me, I.
In the past tense, like.
What did I do? I walked. How do we know that I'm the one who walked?
اي
All.
اي
In the past tense.
وأنا برضه
أنا يعني
But you can't use this in order to say I walked. This is just additional emphasis.
بس ممكن without
It's like saying Nevin, comma, she walked to the blah blah blah, you know?
You can almost want to put a comma in the comma, even though there's no commas in commas. But you can't say. What you cannot do is I Anok motion. That you cannot do.
Oh, yeah.
Why? These are called independent personal pronouns. That means they're outside of the unit.
Oh, okay.
بس انوك اي موشي دي extra information we can deal without it right خلاص امسحها احنا مش
I
عايزين
think
نعرف
it's like saying مشيت أو أنا مشيت.
Yeah. In Arabic, it's like yeah, exactly.
يعني زي ما تكوني قلتي مشيت أو تقولي أنا مشيت. مشي أو هو مشي.
الأولانية أنا
It's a-
Added or
And all I'm doing is showing you that we learned independent personal pronouns, Anok, and Thotin, and how you can put them in a sentence. Okay? So for instance, let's do one of the verbs.
Mike.
We're good? Okay.
he.
This is a new verb, okay?
The verb, the T. Marker.
decoded.
He.
This is a complete
He
sentence.
marker.
Okay, hold on.
He برضه he.
انثوس يعني he. He.
What's this? He, right?
He give
No.
bread. He give bread.
So he, I will ask for a he.
Marker.
The marker, past tense. Dil mean which he, third person, masculine, singular. He, and you look at your verb list. This is one of a few verbs in Coptic that is one letter.
To give.
To give.
يا غير التي
بس المفروض هنا تبقى جيب بقى علشان ده باص.
نعم.
ده يعني بيعطي أعطى.
Yes, you're right.
أعطى.
Yes, it's in the past tense.
أعطى ده past tense.
I'm not disputing
No,
it.
he is. هو تامر كان
Don't give this for now. Then I'll explain this
عندنا
in a minute.
محادثات
This
جنبية.
basically means this is telling you there's something that this person is giving. Okay. U is a something.
أيوة بس
Oik is
معنى
what?
الجملة ده
Right.
الاثنين مع بعض.
ما هي أوي بتبدأ من الأوميجا.
أنا research from the beginning.
Oik يعني حتة خبز, a piece of bread, an instance of bread. Okay. All right. Let me give you another example using prepositions that we learned.
هو يعني إيه خبز؟
نعم.
خبز.
Oik.
Our grandparents.
كلمة oik.
أنا عاوز أسأل سؤال بالنسبة للألحان. واحنا ليه مش بنقول فولي خالص؟ ولا بنقول إيه؟
في الغرغوري. قولي لابونا بقى.
نفسي نقوله.
We've said it twice the entire year. And our lose, remit, and forgive our many transgressions. Don't we commit knowingly.
الكوبتك بتاعه جميل قوي.
Yeah. هو
ما ينفعش يتقال لوحده يعني.
ممكن.
أو لو قال الحتة اللي فيها اللحن ده.
if he says ألف مذئي هو right after المجمع and then نكمل عادي. We can do that.
أنا نفسي بس أقوله أنتي.
قبل ما تدخل على الجرجوري ممكن الجرجوريان liturgy ممكن تبص على ألحان الجرجوري there is anything that we can say
I looked at it.
الاستغلال.
liturgy during liturgy.
Injection.
I agree. Okay, this is another example.
I'm not there.
طيب الكراسة صعبة ولا سهلة السنة دي؟
It's different this year. Thank you, sir.
نحن أنا مني.
هتخش معانا السنة دي زي مريم. هتخش معانا السنة دي.
Enthos.
ورامي كلنا جايين.
خليكم معايا. I won't keep it for too long. Enthos. She.
بس أنا عايزة
الماركر.
إيه الماركر. us she came.
يعني إيه طيب؟
she الضمير pronoun.
ضمير for females. Okay.
إيه ماركر.
بعد كده E is a verb. Look at your list. It means what?
came.
To come. So as for her, she came. Able came is one of these prepositions that we learned from. Came by itself means in. Able came from
The church.
or out of. The ecclesia, the church. So she, as for she came from
The church.
the church.
What is the C stand for?
see الضمير بتاع الشيء. الضمير
الفكرة
اللي في النص.
Look at lesson 8. What is the third line down, Marianne?
بتاع الشيء.
Fourth line down. A fifth line down. Now, exactly. past tense السي دي بتاعت هي she والإي الverb نفسها. In this case, it's an example of verb one letter. ساعات تبقى صعبة to learn to remember. Yes. Yeah, we're gonna be
ايه
done.
بقى المينينج بتاع اخر واحده دي؟
As for her, she came from the ecclesia, the church. As for her, she came from the church.
But I mean, normally speaking, that like it doesn't. Is this like a correct
Yes.
sentence? I mean, maybe like when they write text, but like just speaking, do they say?
You wouldn't need this. You wouldn't need this.
Yeah.
You can just say as I able khanti plese.
Oh,
Or you can say Anivin I able khanti plese. Nivin came from the church.
No, مش
موشي انا لسه
Anivin
ما أنا جاية.
Moshi.
موشي وبعدين جد موشي وجد
احنا بنلعب بيكي بقى ما تيجي
ايوه.
صحة مفرطة انا رايحة جاية رايحة جاية
لو
إلا
مشتي.
لا I think so يعني maybe different I feel ان احنا we need to review
Yes.
يا ربي على
Okay. No. Next week.
feminist.
Next week we're doing exercises. I'll send it. We'll do an exercise in liturgy. Translating. No.
فيها دي ايه كده يا نادين برضه فيها يعني
تايهة ولا ايه؟
Well, and this could be any verb. هو usually the prepositions اللي هم راح حتة أو زي حتة is usually one word like kata for instance, according, أو هيجن, على, upon something. It will create one of these prepositions هو اثنين. فده صح شوية. أنت جاي الأسبوع الجاي. Okay, next week we'll continue lesson 8 and we'll review everything we did today.
Okay, but for the 15 sorry يعني she's not going to be in the monastery so will not be
Many of you will be in the monastery. That's fine. But next week we meet, the week after that we do not meet. As I understand, many of you are going to be at that monastery.
To take to come. No, to
Mira,
go and to take.
Mira, que tal, cool.
مش told her from the beginning.
She didn't hear about it until a few weeks ago.
No, I told her. She did not text me directly.
In November?
احنا ابتدينا الكلام في الموضوع ده في ديسمبر around الكريسماس تايم لما الولاد طلعوا رجعوا
هي ما سمعتش عليها لغايه متاخر قوي.
What are you guys talking
I
about?
think
Monastery?
the monastery. There's multiple flights, but the flights are more expensive now too. They're over 500 each now.
On the same flight.
Mr. Sheila's going?
Different flights.
It doesn't matter because Mira wanted to come at a different time anyway, because the flights are expensive.
Abuna said that the day
Oh, Chrissy?
the day after is $99. So if you want to go with mom, the day after is $99.
Oh, wow.
She can go for
Wow, that's cheap.
$99 one way?
No.
one
Round trip?
سارة راحت على سبيرت 150 for spirit round trip.
خلي بالك على spirits.
ما انا لا بس يعني انا قصدي ابونا قال American airline next day واحنا when we come back هتبقى $99.
Spirit is not a good airline at all.
She's not gonna miss much.
They have a red line.
Yeah, I don't know what Mira's doing. I don't think she wants to do a red eye.
When we
But
come,
on Sunday or Monday, you can take a flight and come back.
يعني after the holidays the prices are going down. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, المشكلة because it's Valentine's weekend. So I ask you to try to memorize as many of the verbs as you can. Memorize as much of the pronouns as you can. In other words, if I tell you, it's enthok or the K. He, it's enthok or the F. And so forth and so on. Okay, Marianne?
Okay.
Thank you, Mark.
That's okay. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see.
Thank you so much.
I will not quiz you next week. Fine. I want to do a quiz. But I will do a quiz.
No quiz.
Rahma for Naveen. Exactly. Well, Naveen is going to motion. Exactly. Thank you all for coming. نبين خلي جولي تكلمني لو عندها اي اسئله.